Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here. And in today's video, I am joined by none other than Johnny Crypto. This is my friend who I met over on Around the Blockchain over on Ben's channel a couple of weeks ago. He has some fantastic insights. I've been on ATB with him twice now, and I've brought him on the channel because I want to interview him. I want to talk a little bit about his past, his present, his future, where he sees himself and cryptocurrency going. Johnny, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the channel.
Oh, I'm doing marvelous. A little nervous. Have somebody like yourself want to talk to little bitty Johnny Crypto over here, but I'm more than happy to do it. So I'm doing well. Thank you, Jebb.
Johnny, you are awesome, man. Guys, make sure even before we get into this, because this is going to be a good show, I just did an interview with Johnny where he interviewed me. That's up over on his channel, but make sure to go and subscribe to him. The time this is launching, he should be just before 10,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can't get you to like 15,000 subscribers. I know that there are going to be more than 5,000 views on this video. Go subscribe to him. He's really smart. He's got a great channel, so make sure to check him out and hit that like button if you do enjoy today's show. So Johnny, can you just give kind of a basic rundown? What's your background? How long have you been in cryptocurrency? Let's just open up with a little bit of information about you.
Okay. I am 30 years old and I got into cryptocurrency right around 2017. Prior to cryptocurrency, I was a professional motorcycle racer for motocross and supercross. And that consumed my entire life from the age 3 to 27. And I actually had a life-altering injury, go figure, racing motorcycles. And it made me rethink my whole life and where I was headed. And I've always been into finance. I was actually a financial planner while I was in racing because I wasn't making so much money while racing. I wanted to try to figure out how I could afford this dirty little habit of racing motorcycles. So anyway, I've always been interested in finance. And finally, when I got injured, it forced me to stop going in one direction. And I had to figure out where my life was going in a different one. And I was basically in catch-up mode because I wasn't really saving. I wasn't really financially stable or anything. So I had to put it into overdrive of everything that I learned as being a financial planner, because the financial planning didn't really work out, because when you're broke, it's really hard to tell somebody, hey, yeah, let me just manage your money, right? It's kind of like going to the gym when you have a big fat guy showing you how to work out. You're going, maybe I'll go to this guy that's got the six-pack over here. But anyway, I found it in 2017. It was actually my brother-in-law, was like, hey, I heard this on the radio. And so I looked at it and there was it just happened. It just was like, holy crap, this is changing. There's not many aspects. It's very rare in life to find something that could impact you for the rest of your life. And I just instantly just dove head first and started reading books. And as soon as I read my first book on Satoshi, I was hooked. And that's kind of where crypto found me, per se. I didn't find crypto, it found me.
I can relate to that. We just talked about over on your channel about how I found crypto, and it's like you just kind of got slapped upside the face one day and it's like, boom, now you're in crypto. Figure it out. That was about the experience for me. It's interesting. I didn't know that that you had done motorcycles and motocross and everything for that long, because I know that you have another channel where you talk about that stuff. And I actually had a motorcycle crash a year and a half ago. And some people on the channel know this. The reason I still wear this watch, I've been wearing this watch for almost 2 years now. I was wearing this when I crashed the motorcycle, and this landed on the pavement and scratched up, and it didn't break, but it stayed scratched. And the reason I continue to wear this watch, even though it's scratched, is because it's a daily reminder that your pride can kill you. And you got to be careful with that. And I wonder if you have any experiences that you'd like to talk about in that sport that might apply to crypto, because, there's adrenaline when you're on a motorcycle. There's adrenaline, yes, when you're trading Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but it's not really the same thing, because someone might be trading with $2 million, but it doesn't feel the same, but it can be just as, if not more, dangerous. Is there any crossover in lessons that you might be able to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that gamblers actually make good traders because they know the probability and everything, and they're good at it, and they're used to having the serotonin and the dopamine dump in the brain. With motorcycle racing, I loved the feeling of I'm essentially at war with the other 40 riders, 39 riders that I'm racing against. And I didn't know if I was going to be okay after the race or what? And so it was an adrenaline of uncertainty. And Bitcoin has kind of been the same thing, because when you're playing with a lot of money, you know, you don't want to lose a whole lot of money. And so for me, kind of in a bad way, it's sort of been my escape from riding what used to excite me. Now cryptocurrency excites me. And sometimes, because I am human and because of my experiences, I'm just being honest here, I've been over leveraged before, and I've been playing with way too much money that I shouldn't be, just for the sheer fact that it excites me. And that is a problem, because we all know that trading should be, you should be a mime. You should be emotionless. You should be a computer, because that's really the way to continue to make money, especially when it came to trading. So I've over the years have found out that I trade very little with my capital, because I've got to keep myself in check. So I've got a trading account that I keep between 5 to 10% of my entire crypto account, not anything with stocks or anything of that. It's separate, but the majority of my holdings is in a long-term, I'm just dollar cost averaging, holding on for freaking ever. And then to excite me, because I used to race motorcycles, I've got a little trading account. And that's what's been working for me, because it works differently for every single individual. And you just have to kind of find your niche on what things work.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people will trade with 100% of their portfolio and not realize the risk in that. You know, the people hate on leverage, but I think if leverage has a place, which it does, the place that it has is you don't have to risk as much of your capital to hopefully make similar amounts of money.
Yeah,
now, of course, you got to know what you're doing, because leverage doesn't make you a better trader, it just amplifies what you're already doing. If you're a bad trader, it's just going to make you a worse trader. So don't use leverage unless you've proven that you can make a consistent profit. But I think what people should remember is that when you're trading, like you just said, keep the vast majority of your crypto in your investment portfolio. Keep those two separate. But either way, that's beside the point. I think what people really should remember is that crypto can very easily turn into an addiction, and people can very easily get way too emotional in crypto. And I think that there's a lot of great value in there's a lot of great value in that we remember, hey, let's keep those emotions in check and let's be careful with that. So with that said, Johnny, what is your experience here on YouTube look like? When did you start your channel? How has that journey been? And where do you see yourself going in the future on that?
It's a tough question. So back in 2017, I was in, I had 6 surgeries on my leg and I couldn't really do anything. So I was trying to figure out, okay, how I'm not making money racing motorcycles anymore. What can I do? And so I started going to YouTube, and I saw cryptocurrency, and I was like, okay, maybe I can kind of jump into this. And I was real nervous. I didn't show my face. I just had a little mic, and, you know, my quality wasn't as up to par. And I wanted to stay as far away from the knowledge I had with racing motorcycles, because I wanted to start something new. And I was so biased from the financial world, because a lot of people might feel differently, but I am biased on my experiences. I feel like if you were born in a third world country, you're obviously going to have different outlooks on life than if you were, you know, Donald Trump's son or something. You know, if you were born into money versus having to struggle and hustle and et cetera. So my bias came from being a financial planner. I was only a financial planner for 2 years. I had my Series 6, I had my Series 7, I had my 63. And what I learned from it was everyone is a number. And it wasn't about actually helping people. It was about selling product and trying to manage as much money as you can, because therefore you're going to make more money. And I consider myself a decent human being. You know, granted, if you go to my other channel, you might get a different outlook otherwise. But I could not go to somebody's house and try to, okay, these guys are having a hard time. They can't even save for retirement, but I'm trying to sell you a life insurance policy that's going to be $500-600 a month, when in reality, you could do the same for your family for $10 a month. I couldn't do it. So I was starving, and I quit. I just absolutely quit, because anyway, it was going nowhere. I couldn't do that. I was becoming a very salty, biased, jaded individual. And so I went to YouTube, and I wanted to try to give some of that information for free. Just say, hey guys, here's my outlook on what you should be doing, on how to use the eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest, and how you could, change your life forever if you could just save. Because in school, they teach you how to do geometry and algebra and all sorts of stuff. But where's the life skills where, how do I get a job? How do I save for college? Oh no, the government is just going to give me Social Security and it's going to be all right. Yeah, in a socialist world, yes, the government is going to be there to help you, but we don't want to live in a dictatorship per se. So I started YouTube, and then I eventually was like, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing that I did for cryptocurrency that I know for writing, because I've been a professional for so long. I'm just going to start giving some good information to people. And that honestly took off because I was more knowledgeable, because I did something as a professional for over 20 years. And so the cryptocurrency kind of got pushed to the side as far as my YouTube stuff. I was always constantly investing in and continuing to grow my portfolios and my knowledge there. But the most of my outlook was focused on my motocross stuff. And here recently, I'm looking back to the cryptocurrency, because like meeting you, Jebb, I believe if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. And I want to be in a larger room. I want to be with some extremely intelligent individuals like yourself. And so for the motocross stuff, I felt like even as like a YouTube channel, I felt like I kind of plateaued, where this is as far as I'm going to go. And I don't like that. So I was like, I'm going to go back to cryptocurrency, because it's my favorite thing to do right now. And so 1,000-foot view, I'm back doing crypto videos because I'm wanting to grow and be in a community that is constantly building each other up, not trying to push each other down.
I think that's really good. And that's something we need to remember, is that that's exactly what communities are supposed to do. We're supposed to build each other up, not push each other down. And unfortunately, what a lot of people do, and I haven't seen too much of this in the crypto space, but what a lot of people do is that they'll start a channel and they'll grow really big, and then they'll get really big because of the help of someone bigger than them. And then when they got to where someone that helped them was, they slam the door behind them and say, nope, no one else coming in. I am only going to look to the people bigger than me so that I can continue. And that's not what I want to do. And luckily, that's not what Ben at BitBoy wants to do. He's the biggest channel in the space. And that's why we like working with everybody in crypto, because if we work together as a community and try and bring us all up, then we'll be able to have a much bigger impact in the world. And I think a lot of people can relate to your story of like, I've been doing this one thing for so long. I'm just tired of it. That's almost the way that, not necessarily tired of it. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you want to look at something else now. And I think that's kind of where we are as a society with our currency, is we've been doing this whole fiat debt-based economy for the last 200 years. I think people are tired of it. And I think that's why we're seeing a massive inflow of people into the cryptocurrency space. So I'll ask you one final question. Where do you think that the adoption of cryptocurrency is going over the next few years? Do you think that we're going to see this massive retail influx and institutional and nation state influx into cryptocurrency? Are we going to see tons and tons of people jumping into crypto? Or do you think it's going to be more of a slow grind? Do you think we're going to have massive bull markets and corrections? Or is it going to start to smooth out like the stock market? How do you see the next several years in cryptocurrency going?
So I am in this space because, as you probably believe, it's going somewhere. I think the Ethereum network is sort of the roadmap to all things financial, and then people are going to build on top of it. So the infrastructure is already built. Bitcoin, its network, the blockchain is there for a reason. And it's almost like trying to turn off the internet. We're not going to be able to turn off the internet. I mean, you look at BitTorrent. BitTorrent is still 4% of all the searches on the internet. Countries can try to say, hey, it's illegal to download this song. And, morally, we know it's illegal for the whole file sharing. I mean, granted, not everybody uses BitTorrent for illegal purposes, but it's still 4% of every search on the internet. And Bitcoin is just slowly growing and adapting. And I believe Bitcoin, I don't think it's going to be the world currency, but we need an option. Capitalism lives off of innovation. And quite honestly, the banks have been getting away for so long of taking your money and essentially stealing it and giving it out for mortgages or whatnot, and giving you 0.03%. So because of cryptocurrency, it's going to now make the banks start to try to give back more to their consumers because they're going to try to keep up with this new decentralized finance. And I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but lately we've been seeing huge bull markets and huge corrections. I think Bitcoin is going to continue to do that until we have a huge market share of tens of trillions of dollars. Once we get tens of trillions of dollars in Bitcoin, we're not going to see this huge 30% up and down in a couple of weeks. It's going to level out at some point. It's going to plateau. But that's why everyone, I feel, should really be involved in cryptocurrency right now, because as we know as traders, you never take a trade that's a 1-to-1 ratio. It has to be at least a 1-to-2. And right now, Bitcoin can literally be a 1-to-20. So yep. you just have to hold on to it. Granted, you got to find out what your risk is for your risk management. Is it going all in? Are you that kind of a person? Or is it like, oh, just 5%? But answering your question, I don't think it's going to happen fast. I think we're going to have to see indirect ways of investing into Bitcoin with the ETFs and people going to work and setting up their 401ks and go, oh, hey, do you want part of your allocation to go into a crypto fund? And then people go, oh, I've heard of cryptocurrency, but if you're going to start depositing money in for me, it's going to be less risk for me. And okay, I feel comfortable with that. Once we start seeing that, that's when the huge adoption, I believe, is going to happen. Not when countries accept it as a form of payment, because I believe it's, at least right now, it's more of an asset class. It's not a currency. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's something that we got to remember, is that a currency is designed to be three things. It's got to be a medium of exchange. You've got to be able to exchange goods and services in it. It's got to be a unit of account so that you're able to measure value in it. And what fiat currencies don't have, what Bitcoin does have, is it should be saleable over time. It should be able to store value into the future. Fiat currencies can't do that because they're inflationary. Right now, Bitcoin is very good at storing value into the future. It's not very good at being a medium of exchange at 7 transactions a second. That's why we need things like Layer 2 Lightning Network coming online, and also more infrastructure like countries adopting it, which after a country allows it and then starts to adopt it, then institutions can adopt it and it moves down to the retail investor. And then that's where all the money is. Right now, in the same way that Ethereum is a platform that other projects are being built on, we're seeing fundamental developments going on that are going to allow for people to adopt it into the future. And I think you're right. I think some people are expecting this to happen a little bit too quickly, but also I think some people are way too bearish on this. I think what we should be looking at is somewhere in the middle. Bitcoin is a very powerful tool, and so is Ethereum. So are most of the cryptocurrencies in the top 10. And I think we're going to continue to see continued growth as the cryptocurrency sector, as I'm now calling it, because I'd say cryptocurrency and crypto platforms are two different industries. It is continuing to grow. And I think we're going to see a very, very healthy decade for cryptocurrency. Johnny, is there anything you would like to say to the audience before we head out? Make sure to go and subscribe to his channel, to all my viewers. The link will be the first in the description.
I would have to say to join your academy. So if they're wanting to learn more about cryptocurrency, that would be a good fundamental reason to join and try to learn more about it. Because the worst thing that you can do as far as investing in something is investing in something because somebody tells you to do it. You should be able to get their own skin in the game and at least do your own research so that you can figure out if this is something that you want to be a part of. So don't do it because I do it. Don't do it because you do it. Do it because you found more information on it. And a good way to find information on it is to join your academy.
There we go. Well, guys, like you just said, you got to invest in yourself. You got to be able to do your own thinking for yourself, which is something that we harp on all the time. That's all that we have time for today. If you enjoyed today's show, make sure to hit that subscribe button, consider liking the video, and also make sure to go and check out Johnny Crypto over on his channel. Like I said, let's see if we can't get him to 15,000 subscribers here in the next couple of days. That's all we got. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.